with the Morning Majlis, Pulse 95.
Today is a very special day. It is Canada Day, Wednesday, the 1st of July. And to celebrate that with us, we have His Excellency Jean-Philippe Linteau, who is the Consul General of Canada here in the United Arab Emirates. And a very, very good morning to you. And I believe it is a happy day at the consulate.
Yes, thank you, Abdul Karim, and good morning to you. It's great to be back on the Morning Majlis this morning for Canada Day, and I want to thank you for speaking so much about Canada this morning. It's very special for us to know that we have good friends in Sharjah that are spreading the word about this happy day. I want to start by wishing all Canadians and friends of Canada in Sharjah and in the UAE very happy Canada Day.
That certainly is a very proud day. But now let's start talking about is it your day off? Because we do understand that a number of people across the globe and a number of diplomatic missions, yes, they're busy with the days, but it's usually a day off. What's your schedule like today?
So, you know, when you represent your country abroad, the National Day is one of the busiest days of the year. So today even though we're doing the celebration virtually, we are reaching out to many of our friends, doing some media outreach and so on. But I'm also organizing a little ceremony at the consulate for our staff who have been working tirelessly to support Canadians during the COVID crisis, and we'll be presenting awards to my staff this morning. So that's a very special moment. We wanted to do it on Canada Day, so that everybody can reflect on how hard we've had it this year, but that it's still time to celebrate our wonderful country.
And you've got your red tie as well, right, lined up for that as well. So it's very good to see that as well. But Rania, we would be wondering how things are going to be different, right?
I'm actually curious about this. Now, typically, I know that on Canada Day, celebrations, they include parades and fireworks, barbecues and get-togethers. So what is the scene going to look like now amid the COVID-19 situation and the social distancing measures in Canada?
Right. Well, you're very aware of how Canadians celebrate there, Rania. Usually,
I have cousins who are Canadians, so I'm well aware.
Okay. But usually the highlight of Canada Day is a big concert and fireworks that take place in Ottawa, the capital of Canada, in front of the Parliament building. And on that day, usually the population of Ottawa basically doubles because Canadians come from all over the country to enjoy the day.
Yeah,
so this year there's no live concerts outside. There's no fireworks, but there is a lot of online celebrations. So, you know, a lot of people so far this year have had to celebrate their birthdays virtually through Zoom with their friends, with their families. So Canada has to do the same. We're going to celebrate virtually through Zoom. There are a number of Canadian artists that have put together events that are going to take place throughout the day. It's going to happen virtually, but Canadians can still celebrate. So, you know, taking you back, Canada Day, factually, we are celebrating the foundation of our country. So 153 years ago, the British colonies of North America came together and formed this new country called Canada. And Canada was formed as a federal country, a federation of 4 provinces at the beginning. One of them was Quebec, so what was formerly New France. And federalism was really important for us to be able to manage our diversity, to accommodate diversity. Fast forward to today, Canada Day is you know, has more emotional significance. It's about celebrating that history, celebrating that heritage, and celebrating our diversity, and including our First Nations, which are at the core of the Canadian fabric as well. You're right. Usually it's about barbecue. It's summer. In Canada, summer is short, so Canada Day is important.
You got to make the most out of it.
Celebration for that. But so today we're still happy, we're still celebrating, we're doing it online, and I'll be I want to highlight a couple of activities that are taking place that your listeners can tune into. So first of all, at 10 p.m. tonight, these are Dubai or UAE times, there will be a Love from Canada variety show featuring all kinds of Canadian artists. I also want to do a shout out for a local duo of Canadian musicians who live in Dubai. The band name is Lady J. They will be playing Canadian classics and broadcast from Dubai at 6 p.m. tonight, local time. So you'll be able to find those links on the embassy and the consulate's social media sites. And again, for the local Canadians or friends of Canada, you'll want to watch the Burj Khalifa tonight at 8 p.m. Special shout out to Canada and to Canadians on the Burj.
And what message would you like to share with the Canadian expat community here in the country?
So it's a message really of it's about pride. It's about celebrating what our country is all about. And, you know, our country is one of the most diverse in the world. This is one thing we shared with the UAE as well. It's the diversity of our population. It's a country that's about tolerance, that's about inclusion, another thing that we share with the UAE. And it's about also looking forward to what we're going to do post-COVID. We have the tools as Canadians, as a country, to really do well in the future. Canada didn't close itself. Yes, we closed the borders to travelers for public health reasons, but we never closed ourselves to the outside world. We continued to trade. We continue to be open. We continue to work with international partners to find solutions for us moving forward. And really, at the end of the day, that's the message to Canadians: is be proud of that country that you're a part of, because it is a leader internationally. It is a country that is visible, that is leading the way, and that is shining a light in times where there's a lot of darkness around.
Yeah. Let's talk about something you've touched on here: development opportunities, economic development opportunities between Canada and its friends. Let's talk about the relationship between Canada and the UAE moving forward, especially during this crisis.
Absolutely. So first of all, I want to highlight how good the collaboration with the UAE authorities was on COVID. We helped each other out, including with the UAE. Making some testing equipment available to Canada when it was needed back in Canada. So it's been a tremendous collaboration. But as we look forward, what do we have to leverage? The first thing that really is important is that we have 40,000 Canadians living in the UAE. We have a huge community that's here, that's doing business, that's leading in services and education in various areas, and really that's our base from which we want to build. We are looking at key sectors. So the most important trading relationship that we have is in food, right? Canada is an important contributor to food security in the UAE. The bread you ate this morning probably had Canadian wheat in it. If you eat lentils, I can guarantee you they come from Canada, and so on. So they are that's existing. But where we're going to go from there is looking at the more innovative angles of agricultural technologies, health technologies. Education is an amazing area of collaboration between the two countries. And energy is increasingly important. There was a large Canadian investment announced last week in the UAE with the acquisition of a pipeline by two Canadian investors. So all this it bodes well for growing ties in the future.
And what about when we're talking about the state of travel? Now, we know that the UAE has reopened travel abroad. So what is the advice that you give for Canadians living in the UAE who wish to travel to Canada this summer?
Yeah, so Canadians and permanent residents of Canada are always welcome to come back home. There are no restrictions on travel for them. Our Prime Minister has been very clear that we will not reopen prematurely. We're going to be careful. Look, Canada has done really well. It has had a huge number of COVID cases, over 100,000, but now we're down to about 200 a day, right? So COVID is under control. The Prime Minister has been clear. We're not going to reopen prematurely. So last night, we heard that the restrictions on non-Canadians and non-PRs traveling to Canada have been extended to the end of July. That means that if you don't have a Canadian passport or permanent residency, while we'd love to have you, we're going to ask you to wait a bit longer as we work to control the COVID outbreak a bit more. And the other thing to keep in mind, and this is for Canadians who do go back, is that there is still a requirement for self-isolation for 14 days upon arrival. So this is not quarantine. It's not locked up in a room. It's being careful, not interacting with other people. So it's self-isolation for 14 days. And that's in effect until the end of August. That's what was announced yesterday.
Well, Your Excellency, I know you've got a very busy day lined up for you, but we've got to ask you, what's on the menu to try when it comes to Canadian food, and what do you recommend all of us to do?
Okay, so look, Canadian food is about freshness. It's about green. It's about clean, and those are the attributes that you'll look for when you look at Canadian food in Canada. In Dubai, in the UAE, it's more limited in terms of what you can find. The one thing I can tell you is Canadian lobster is in season, and it's available in restaurants and at the supermarket. So that's a definitely must try. We talked about poutine earlier, so I'm just going to explain quickly what poutine is. So you put French fries, you top it up with some curd cheese, and then some beautiful brown sauce on it. The cheese melts, and it's just delicious.
Oh, God,
it's not good
here.
for you, but it's delicious. So you can try that at a few outlets in the country. The National had a piece this morning in the paper that tells you where you can find poutine in the UAE.
Well, something to look forward to as well. And what's the perfect mix with a maple syrup? What's your choice? What would you have as a component for it?
Okay, so you can go either full sweet. So I like it on my pancakes or my crêpe, because I'm from French background, so I like my crêpe. But you can use maple syrup in surprising ways with salty foods. So, for example, with scallops. Pan-seared scallops with maple syrup, beautiful. So give it a try.
Well, we'll certainly look forward to that. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. I know you've got a very busy day lined up for you, and we will catch those virtual fireworks and the virtual concert tonight.
Thank you, Abdul Karim, and happy Canada Day to you all.
Happy Canada Day to you
Happy
too.
Canada Day.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, and that's it for now. We will be moving on to our world of business news, and the Morning Majlis shall return after that and continuing the discussions with lots more to look forward to. Stay tuned to the Morning Majlis.